The FBI confirms it is now investigating a new message regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. It's now been 6 days since the mother of American TV host Savannah Guthrie was taken from her home against her will. The latest message was sent to a CNN affiliate, which then sent it on to authorities. They're now working to determine its authenticity. There are still no suspects named, and the search for Guthrie continues. Billboards have gone up in neighboring states, and the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information. Our next guest has been following the Guthrie investigation. Daniel Brunner is a retired FBI special agent. Daniel, thank you for your time tonight.
My pleasure.
This case, there's many things about it that I think seem very unusual. What stands out to you?
Well, there's a lot of things, like you said, they're very unusual, not a traditional kidnapping, and which I don't like to put that. I don't like to diminish how difficult and how bad this is, and how, overwhelmingly bad this is for the family. But your traditional kidnappings, which you have a younger member of the family, maybe a child or a sibling or a teenager, or in the situations like in Iraq, where a 50 or 60-year-old individual, a family member, was kidnapped and held for ransom. This is completely different. This is an older woman, and she's in advanced stages. Obviously, she has heart troubles. So and there's nothing about that this is normal. Normally, ransoms are sent directly to the family or through a mediary. But these notes were sent to media outlets. These notes were sent to, which will create more attention to this situation, which is what I would fear is something that the kidnappers wouldn't want, because the more attention they have, the closer the circle you feel around you. So this is a very different type of kidnapping situation that is normally handled. You have the best situation, you have the best FBI handling this, the analysts, the agents, and the teamwork that the FBI normally does. So this is a very difficult situation no matter what, but it is outside what is considered normal.
Daniel, I want to ask you more about the ransom notes, because as you say, they've been going to media outlets and various media outlets, and there's authenticity questions about them. Already one has been proven, according to the FBI, police agencies, to not be valid. There's a new one potentially this afternoon that was sent again to a media outlet, and authorities said they're looking into it. How does the complexity of the questions around these ransom notes affect the investigation? It seems to me it could potentially just be a big distraction.
Well, it absolutely is a distraction, but it also can, if it is verified that it is from someone who is conducting this kidnapping, it can provide leads, because you're looking at the language of the message, and the advanced agents who are at Behavioral Analysis Unit in Quantico, Virginia. This is what they do. This is what they study. They're able to get into the mind of the criminal, and what they'll do is they'll look at all the physical evidence that's been collected, and they'll look at these notes, and they'll look at how the language is spoken, what type of language, and they're able to provide the investigators a best case scenario of what the individuals that were speaking, it could be them, it could be this situation. So it provides leads, even though it is difficult to read, and it may be difficult for the families to get. At least there is communication, even though if it is proven to be valid. So they are important tools, important pieces of the investigation.
We're 6 days in. A reward has been offered for information. Still no suspect, though. And I think that's probably perplexing and frustrating, and a lot of questions about, is there more information that could be released to the public, or is there any strategy in which information might be being held back at this point? What's your read on that?
Well, I absolutely believe that we are not getting everything, and we don't need to get everything. As the public, we do not have a need to know. I've been on the other side. I was just an FBI agent 2 years ago, and I was on the other side of the aisle, and I never wanted to release all the information to the public, because they don't need to know. It's important, because you understand is then the criminals know that law enforcement knows. There are certain cards that law enforcement will hold, and then there's certain cards that law enforcement will give out. It's all a strategy. It's all based upon years and decades of experience that these individuals at the FBI will be releasing certain bits of information. Not too much, which could reveal to the kidnappers that the FBI is aware of a situation. They want to keep certain things in hold, under wraps. At some point, when they have identified a vehicle, maybe they'll release the make and model of the vehicle to see if That generates more leads. But at certain points, we will get points of information which will be important to us. But anyone needs to understand is we don't have a need to know as the general law. The family needs to know. The family has to be a part of this investigation, and I'm sure they are a part of it, working closely with the FBI, because those messages that they're putting out were definitely well-structured messages directed to humanize her and to humanize and get somebody in that criminal group to break and then possibly provide information to law enforcement.
Daniel, what do you expect is going to happen next? We've heard that there's a reward being offered. I read about billboards being put up, but how does this investigation now move forward as we head into day 7?
Well, we're going to go, it's piece by piece. There's multiple teams of groups as part of the FBI investigation. Not only you have the case team who are conducting interviews of people. They're looking at every single person. No one is not being considered as a suspect, to include family members, friends. Everyone is being considered to look as a possible lead. No one is being ruled out, I am sure, until they can definitively say that person has no part of this. But until then, that everyone is being considered. Everything is being, the cellular phones are going to be looked at. See whose cell phones were in the area. What vehicle suspicious? Was a suspicious white van seen there? Was that a coincidence? Or has it been seen there for the last few weeks? I am sure that this criminal group had been conducting surveillance of that house. They were prepared. They knew what they were doing. So I have no doubt that they were there in previous nights at the same time. So I think that might be a good lead. And then obviously interviewing Savannah Guthrie, seeing her producers, her directors, seeing what stories she may have done that would have caused a ripple effect where a criminal organization may have done something to bring attention upon themselves. Because I think that by providing these messages to media outlets, they want more attention to themselves instead of this is about ransom. So I think we'll see that in the future.
Daniel Brunner, former retired FBI, a special agent, thank you so much.
My pleasure.